Just me, baby. And we are live. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's me, baby. It's Crunk Chocolate. I don't know where my showmates are, but I'm sure they'll show up eventually. You know how people are. All these different time zones. I confuse myself as well. This is Shades of Blue. This is the lit stream. We are out here. The way this works is we have three fantastic guests. We bring them on 15, 20 minutes. I mean, time is relative, so we do our best to try to get people on and move it in a timely fashion. If you're here, you're enjoying yourself, please let us know where you're enjoying yourself, where you're hanging out in the chats, what we're chatting about. Type your thoughts in here. It just makes the lit stream that much more lit. Uh, Usually, this is the part where my showmates and we do a little banter about our day. I just go, la, 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 I'm here. These people are here. I try to figure it out, but it's reversed, so it's confusing. There's no need for any of that. So let's just get to bringing on the guests, because I'm just all alone. I can see my guests in the backdrop, and I was just watching McCune be like, "Did he freeze or something?" It was hilarious. I entertained myself. My first two guests, I call them the Podfathers for a reason. They are the honestly the first city podcast I listened to, and they are amazing people. They've welcomed us in, unlike some people in the community. It's far enough I can joke about that stuff. Joey McCune and Mold of Noisy Bod. What's up? What's up?
Oh, he posed. I didn't know I was supposed to.
Have to pose, bro. Come on, it's called a lit stream.
Did I do it? Did I do it right?
Hit us with one. What's that?
Let's go! Yes.
Album dropping December 21st. Go to Sam Goody.
The only one. It's in Alberta, Canada. Good luck getting there.
Shout out, honestly.
Hey, how's it going, guys? How are y'all?
Brilliant. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Happy to be
Looking
here.
forward to it. Or have been looking forward to this.
I've been on your live streams before, and it's always a good time. Your community is what a shout out! And, you people, your community is a very nice community, great uplifting people, and that's always nice when you go to a place for the first time. And like I said, when we were new, that's when y'all brought us on, immediately gave us a shout out on your show. So I do want to say thank you for that formally in front of people. I know this is stuff that I've said behind the scenes, but it's nice to also say it in front of people. So yeah,
no problem. We try to cut out knob heads pretty quick. We try to cut them out and tell them to get the out of here. You know.
Oh, in turn, mate, we're big fans of your show, and you and the boys. They've stood you up tonight, but
I know, right?
The audacity, dude.
Right?
Big fans of what you do, for sure.
Literally chatting in our Slack chat, harring, laughing and stuff. And boom, not here. It's just like, wait, what?
It's a pretty baller move to ditch your own show, honestly. I might steal that. Just like Mold's like, yo, we're recording at 6:30, and I'm like, yeah, okay, bud, sounds good. And then I just don't jump in. I'm just sitting there like, hey, you joining? I'm like, yeah, for sure. I'm not even home.
Yeah, just having a drink somewhere, drinking a Dollarita. Shout out to there. I hope everybody is having that's the closest thing to just like old school insanity, like Four Loko. I feel like the Dollaritas is like the only kind of that level of insanity that we have left, that it seems normal at first, but it can just quickly go bad.
Oh, brother, I got one for you. When I was in grad school, we had a place that used to do penny pint night. So me and 9 of my friends would show up and slap $1 on a table and just kind of see where it went, you know?
Penny Pint night.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah. So penny pint night. It was they just come around with like cups with beer in it, and it'd be one of the lights. You didn't know which one you were grabbing. And yeah, if we figured if there's 10 of us, we can hit 10, and then if we feel like putting another $1 down or 50 cents, then that's what you did. Look, I was a graduate student. It was different.
no,
Sure.
I don't.
Sure,
No, I'm
technically a
laughing just
teacher.
at the conversion, just like 50, like yeah,
Mhm.
man, like
It's a sick move.
yes, brilliant or horrendous on
It hurts.
both sides. Yeah.
It does hurt the next day though. It's
Okay.
Cool.
So there was actually breaking news. I really haven't been touching social media, but I bookmarked it. This craziness. Have you heard what's going on with two Italian players, Sandro Tonali and uh, Zanoli? Is that how you say his name? Zanoli.
That'll work.
With the betting,
Zaniolo?
yeah, with the betting and everything.
Yeah, bro.
No,
It-
what? Them boys been gambling?
Yeah. Let me pull
Potentially,
up
yeah.
the,
Italians, you know what I mean?
Are they both Newcastle?
One's Newcastle, and I want to say the other one might be Aston Villa.
All right.
Zaniolo?
Yeah.
There you go.
And
Nice one.
they were sent back from national team duty, and the Italian team made a statement basically just being like, we think at this moment they won't be able to focus on it, but they were investigated by like the feds and everything. So
Advantage
mia.
England.
True.
Come on. Because they're playing England in the qualifier. So
oh, that's crazy.
yeah.
So what if
Calvin Phillips will run riot?
what if you let him play, but Ivan Toney gets to play too?
just all bets are
Yeah.
off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Or-
he's back in December
might be on,
anyway.
honestly.
So what does it really even matter?
Who, Tony?
Isn't he? Is like January because they're talking about getting
He'll
rid
be
of
back
him.
in January, yeah.
Yeah, January. So I don't know.
Well,
I guess I
maybe.
don't know when this England qualifier is. Oh, is it this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's I don't know.
I don't
They're all
know.
sponsored by gambling websites, and
I know.
it's not like he's betting on himself to lose. Like what Paqueta's accused of is a little more dicey, where it's like, I bet I get a yellow.
Yeah. And also, you don't have a union anyway, so it's just like who's to say that any of this is illegal? I don't know.
Legalized betting.
I know. It's just ridiculous. I actually want to get you guys because y'all, like I said, Podfathers. This Grealish slagging that everyone just. I guess I'm seeing people kind of turning back and getting back on his side. But what are your thoughts with Grealish? And then I even want to go to Haaland because I will actually say with my chest, Haaland hasn't been the best. But I want to start with Grealish. What are your thoughts? Because he is off. I don't want to say he's like shit or he's not worth the money. There's none of that sensationalism here. But what do you think could be off? Do you think it's just simply that like Daku came here and he saw a young dude saucing and just like lost all his heart?
I'll go quickly first. So there's a narrative out there that is a very, I'll call it a very safe narrative, and that is that Jeremy Doku and Jack Grealish are two completely different types of players. They both bring different attributes to City, and we should value them both. So part of that is absolutely true, that we should value them both.
Yeah.
The part about them being completely different players, I don't buy it. I would argue, as big a Jack Grealish fan as I am, what I've seen from Jeremy Doku so far tells me he can do everything Jack Grealish can do and more. Like, the worry about Doku when we signed him was he was a bit raw, right? He might lose the ball a lot. Tom Bomb,
Come on.
let's go.
Tom.
I'm going to keep going if that's okay.
Yes. Yeah, please.
All right. We worried that Doku was a bit raw, might lose the ball a lot, might take him a long time to adapt. Well, I know it's only been a few games, but he's adapted really quickly, and in my opinion, has done everything Jack Grealish can do and more. Holds the ball up well, plus will take his man on and be very direct. So I think Jack Grealish has got a real fight on his hands. Now Doku can play both sides in that, right? And Jack is predominantly on the left, but I think Jack, by his own admission, says that he needs to really dial his game up. He's been injured, but when he gets back fit properly, we'll really need to impress because Doku is the real deal. So,
Yep.
Joey,
Yeah. I don't read too much into Twitter narratives or arguments about players, anyways, because
course,
it's all
yeah.
stupid.
Yes.
End of the day, we need both players. We need Doku to do the things that he does, and sometimes we need Jack to do the things that he does. Also, I think long term, it wouldn't shock me if we saw Jack move inside a little bit as he gets older. Like, I think Jack in an 8 makes a lot of sense once he not matures, but just gets a little bit further into his career. Yeah, I don't know. It's I think
I guess is it as simple as is it as simple as he just needs to run at people more, because you see him go and he just does that left for a couple dribbles and then cuts in right? Does he just need to cut back left and try it a few times?
No, I don't have any problems with the way he plays, honestly, because he's used in different scenarios. He's I think everyone knows he's more there for control anyways, and just to kind of generally be a pissant and get fouls and make other players pick up yellows and all that kind of stuff. Whereas Doku can make other players pick up yellows, but it's just done way differently, right? He'll run at them and they'll drag him down or something like that. I don't see the need for this alleged beef. It seems counterintuitive. It seems like it doesn't do anything other than.
And they're both fun, saucy dudes.
Like,
so it's just like, why are we putting them against each other? We should be trying to put them side by side and trying to get Daku that Gucci deal, trying to get Daku that Puma deal. Like that's what we should be doing. We shouldn't be putting them against each other.
See, this is where I've curated my social media and where I don't even see most of these things. Like I'll see like one person has retweeted it, and I'm like just not getting involved in that. I just keep scrolling past.
Yes, that's usually what it is.
If it's a take that's dumb enough that makes me do like butthead face, like I read it and I'm just like,
what's your default face, mate?
At 2 Mulv? After all we've been through? I fucking trusted you, brother. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's a dumb thing, and I don't think, like Mulv said, Jack was injured for a little bit. The lineups have been wonky because of who's injured, who's suspended, and all that kind of stuff. And I just feel like as the season goes on, I mean, it's the 12th of October. I think to be looking at that part of the pitch right now and saying like, oh, it's this guy versus this guy just doesn't make sense to me, because I think it's going to be horses for courses. Like, depending on who we're playing, it'll be more of a Doku match or more of a Grealish match. The same way we used to do with Mahrez and Bernardo.
Yeah.
Right? There was some matches that you knew if it was a low block, Mahrez is playing on the right, and there's nothing else that's happening. And I think that could be the same thing for Jack and Doku. We just have to figure out which one is which. But
you don't know which one's which, or?
I mean, no.
I mean, one's got sizable calves. Sizable calves.
Is this you and me, or is this Jack and Doku?
Tom Bomb, what are you saying about Grealish, mate?
Oh, you're muted, homie.
I liked your point. I liked your point, Mulvs, about Jack moving more centrally. To me, my thought process was that he was always going to be the KDB replacement. And I think that like you're seeing that Julian Alvarez playing centrally can also he can also play centrally and play in the midfield, and like he can give you some defensive work rate. So possibly you could play the two of them alongside each other. But I will be interested to see like if that is Pep's decision to move him inside, like who is he competing against for those spots? Like, and especially like if we are gonna do more double pivot stuff with Rodri, like does one of them fall out of vogue? So yeah, I really liked, but I did really like your point about moving him inside.
Well, and I
Because
don't
have I
even
got my
want
hat? Have I got my hat right now?
to.
Oh shit!
Tom knows how to look, man.
Hold on. I need
Well,
to-
I was kind of,
Full
I'm
on.
not even gonna lie. I was kind of hoping that Charlie would be on, so that like I like literally just wore all of this Chief stuff just to
I
piss him
know.
off because
I know. He's
All
probably
the
just, he
fan
doesn't,
out,
and
that's
that's probably why he's not on. He's just like, nope, I'm not even gonna put myself through this.
he's like I am not even gonna like
Nope,
participate in
it's
that
not even
at all.
happening. I'm not even gonna give myself a chance to get made fun of, especially with that
Right.
Judy nonsense. Okay, I actually Arsenal
Mhm.
this loss.
Mhm.
We lost by a crazy concussion almost by Ake.
Fair.
Like, how I personally, no joke, took a nap after the match and I was fine. We recorded
took a
later.
nap?
I took a nap. And that was how I processed everything. I feel like the only time when we recorded, I raised my voice a little bit.
Yes. Have you never taken a rage nap?
But it wasn't. Actually wasn't mad. Okay, so like you have the anger from the moment, but I was actually able to just move on, and I was exhausted because I was up early because I was worried about the match, and that was where the nap came from. But once I had the nap, I also had listened to Pep's pre-match where he said Champions League is our focus, and I just his words helped me, I guess, handle things. And all of our players missing, that helps me handle the situation a little bit better. But I'm very interested on how y'all handled the loss.
Yeah, it was a freak goal that won him the match. We had talked about it with Stephen McInerney. We talked about it on our show. Arsenal had to win. Everything says they had to win. They've spent more money than everybody. They've got a manager that's been there for a while. They've supposedly got this system that's supposed to be great. We didn't have Rodri. We didn't have De Bruyne. They have to win. It's at home. They have to win.
Yeah.
I would say the bigger question there has to come, maybe to them. It took a deflected goal off of Nathan Ake's face to beat a Rodri-less, De Bruyne-less team that was already slumping. So, I don't know. It was annoying, but didn't mess up my weekend or anything. I was chill.
Well, I hope that it was Sunday.
Well, Browns were off, so I couldn't get depressed about that. So I was pretty. Rest of the afternoon, I just went home and ate vitamins and chilled on the couch.
Yeah, I agree with Joey. I've seen a lot of people in the media calling it like a statement win.
Yes.
But I wonder what's the statement? The statement is that you were nullified by a Manchester City team largely for 90 minutes, and you got a deflected goal. You played against us. You were at home.
Mm-hmm.
We were missing Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, John Stones for most of the match. Your only miss was really Saka.
Mm-hmm.
This was your chance, and your statement was, "We can beat you again with a deflected goal." So
Yep.
I'm not sure it's as big of a statement as they might think. Will it help their confidence? Maybe, but to me, it might be false confidence. You know what I mean?
Have you considered that maybe they're taking the victory because they won the midfield battle where they had their kind of starting midfield three and they beat Rico Lewis, Bernardo Silva, and Mateo Kovacic?
Did they?
True.
I mean, if it wasn't,
I don't think they did.
That's the thing, isn't it? That's tough. That's a tough look.
No, I'm gonna relax. I was gonna say a little saucy, you guys, and you're giggling. It makes me want to join in and be like, ha. No. Tom Bomb, were you gonna say something? Do you have? Because I kind of see you.
I just like. Do the two of you think that like Pep kind of like parked the bus in this match in a way? Like
They both did.
I know that
In a very
we've been
Pep
like
way, yeah.
disciplined before, like in yes. It's like I think I said earlier in the season, like you've kind of seen like the Jose Mourinhoification of Pep ball in a way this
That's
season.
hard to say, mate.
And I think like especially like,
Teaser.
and I think it's like more kind of. I know, right? Like I was really tripping over that. I think it's like more pronounced because KDB's not in the lineup.
Yeah, no De Bruyne and no Rodri will make you change up how you do things a little bit. And I don't think either team really went for it, you know? Like they created better chances, I think. But no one had a clear statistical advantage in terms of possession or anything like that. Like they had more shots, not necessarily more shots on goal. So it's I don't know, I think it was one of those matches where both managers set up to not lose.
Agreed.
All right. Well,
instead of to win.
before we get you out of here, my final question is: what the fuck is wrong with Haaland?
Well, he scored twice today.
So,
He scored twice
yeah.
for Norway.
does that translate for us?
He's
Will that
back.
translate for us?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
I think service matters. I think a lot of people are blaming Haaland and not looking at what we're doing around him.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Well, look at how we've been playing. There hasn't been a lot of width recently. Haaland feeds off of wide playmakers, things that are created out wide because that spreads out the back line, which gives him more space to float in between center backs or whatever. Well, if you look at how we played against Arsenal, we had the two, in quotes, wingers that were both tucked very narrow. The only width we had was Kyle Walker on the right sometimes, and Gvardiol went forward, I don't know, 3 times maybe.
Twice, yeah.
So what you're trying to do is you're trying to just force everything through the middle, and he's going to get surrounded. Haaland's always going to get surrounded. Doesn't matter who you're playing, they're going to surround him, right? Well, it's tougher to surround him if you spread people out horizontally. So I think that's where our main issue is we're playing a little bit too narrow. If we spread people out horizontally, not only does it allow for more service into Haaland, but it also allows for more runners from deep because as they're spread out, gaps open up, spaces open up. So you get more space for Haaland, you get more space for Alvarez or whoever is in behind him. I think it's more of a system issue than a guy issue. And if there's one guy I'm not going to worry about, it's the guy that broke every record last season. And right now he's having his worst season and he's just under 1 goal a game, which is just a stupid stat. Like it doesn't make that's the place that we're at with Haaland is he's got 7 and 8 and we're like, this fucking guy's broken. I don't think he's gonna make it. Maybe we need to start looking around again.
Our next game's Brighton, and I honestly fear for Brighton, to be honest. Just the way they play, they're sort of the perfect opponent for Haaland to break out against. So watch out for that. Honestly, Rodri will be back. A few more of the guys will be a bit more fit. Probably look a lot more like Manchester City than we have all season when we get back from the break. So Brighton, watch out. Watch out for Erling Haaland.
Yeah, they might get punished. They might be. They don't know it yet, but they might be in for a real.
And leaking goals
pulling.
Massively.
Yeah.
Someone's
got to sit Lewis Dunk back down.
Let's go.
England legend Lewis Dunk.
Yes.
The next Phil Jones, some say.
Oh, lofty expectations for him. Okay.
Huge, yeah.
Wow.
Amongst the greats of the game. On the Mount Rushmore of English defenders, Phil Jones.
I didn't know the English had a Mount Rushmore also. That's exciting.
Well, they're making one. It's just for Lewis Jones. Who else would you throw up there? Shit English defenders.
Maguire.
Slabhead. Yeah. But I think they can't put him up there just because of the cost to chip the rock. Like England doesn't have mountains so much.
It's actually cheap. You don't have to chip it. It's just hang it up there.
Yeah. You have a mountain. One face is just Maguire, and the other 3 are just kind of around the corner. That makes sense. Yeah, I overthought that, I guess.
Hey, thank you all for having us.
Oh
We
yeah,
love,
thanks.
we love what you do. Good to see you, Tom Bomb.
Thank you all so much for coming on.
Yeah,
Absolutely
absolutely.
appreciate you coming on, hopping on with us. Sorry I was late. Work.
We'll let
Shit
it slide
happens.
this time. Next time, though.
Say what's up to the
I
other
appreciate
fellas
it.
for us, yeah?
Yes.
I know, right?
Well, we appreciate
Absolutely.
you guys. You have a good rest of your evening. Noisy Pod, I
Yes.
love you guys.
Don't
Love
the
you,
kids
boys.
do it this way?
It feels like a gang sign. I love it.
Yeah.
Gang,
Well,
gang,
Check us out.
gang,
I was
at
about to
Noise-
say, no. Mm-mm.
gang.
some people forget that I'm from the streets, and that really bothers me. They look at me, they hear me, and they're like, "There's just no chance." But really,
You don't want to hear his stories.
East Cleveland, baby, let's go.
at Noisy Pod on Twitter and that. If you want
Mhm.
to check us out, yeah.
Yes,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
do that.
See you guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. See ya.
Oh, I love them. All right, so our next guest, I am super excited. Actually, both of these guests, I was able to befriend them through Shea Butter FC, the Women's World Cup. We were just vibing.
Shout out to Shea Butter FC.
Yes, just
Love
vibing,
y'all.
watching matches all summer, and most dope person, Deepti. Let's bring you on. Hello. Oh, I think you might be muted. Is
My bad.
no
Do my
worries.
entrance again. I'm just kidding. What's up? Hi, Tom Bum. How y'all doing?
Hi,
Good. How are you? I really like that kid.
Good.
Good.
I really like.
Thank you. I had to bust it out
Yeah.
today. Actually, I'm still like in school in our like lounge, but we had promo photo shoot kind of thing for our like grad program, and I was like, I gotta wear this kit. It's a pretty one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
So
it's beautiful.
I mean, while you're at it, let's keep pushing you. And okay, what are you going to grad
Yeah.
school for?
Okay, so I'm in a master's program for sports and exercise analytics. I don't like the name of it, TBH, but it's more like sports biomechanics, but a lot of data and a lot of analysis on sports biomechanics. So we like do motion capture, we do a lot of like muscle EMG, IMU data, GPS tracking, and then how do you analyze that? How do you make it make sense to like teams and athletes and make them better?
Fun. So
Yeah.
you're the reason why we had bald people in the Women's World Cup. And those, VAR people.
Not quite. We are the back. I would be doing like physical, like with the athletes themselves, physical performance, how they don't get injured. You know, all those
Yeah.
ACL tears, we got to get rid of them. That's what I'm trying to
Yes,
do.
definitely.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
And
So-
So, has any of your like research like kind of like led you on the grass versus artificial turf territory? Because I know that like in
Yeah.
football, as we like to call it, that's a big
Go.
source. Yeah, football. You know how they say it in the South. Paul,
All
the
right,
things play
Paul.
the SEC schedule, Paul. Oh, that's Paul Feinbaum. He's a big college football person. But they
I haven't
know-
looked at
yeah.
grass versus turf actually. But that would be a cool like so I'm in my second year and I'm actually right now trying to figure out what to do for like a final project. And I do want to do women's soccer, trying to actually work with a team and like use their data to like do whatever they want me to do, honestly. But I think that would be really interesting to see like how the muscles and stuff, how much they're activated on turf versus grass, and if there is a difference. And if like there's a wrong activation, and if it's like changing how much pressure is on the joints.
mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's got to be something there. Every
Right,
little thing
right.
makes such a difference.
Yeah, and I'm me being such a new person into women's soccer. It was crazy finding out the whole ACL problem, and I guess I never even really thought about it because another thing how people say is like boots. That could be
Yeah.
another thing, and how they fit everyone's foot. And especially with the money coming into women's football, these
Yeah.
are things that hopefully will come. And yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's great. I knew you went to school, but I didn't know what you went to school for. So
Yeah.
this gave a great opportunity to find out,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
super dope. Yeah, I love it.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
know. I just read this book called Up to Speed. Shout out Dawn Scott, who like on Kristen Press and Tobin Heath's like recap show, she mentioned it. She was like interviewed in it too. But it was talking exactly about that. All the different ways that women are getting their like equipment, getting their training, everything based on men and not
Yes.
on women. And so it's her whole philosophy, and like what everybody's trying to go to now is train women as women. Don't train them as small men. Like that's, I mean, that makes such a big difference. Like the foot size is different. The obviously every physiological part is different. Like it's crazy. There's so much to be done.
Truly. Well, you gave us plenty of topics, and I love this.
I did.
The first one,
Yes.
KDB got me into men's soccer.
Yes.
Go on. Yes.
Okay. So I'm one of the weird ones where I am both an Arsenal fan and a City fan. But the only reason I'm a City fan is because of KDB. Before 2018, I did not really watch men's soccer until, I mean, I would watch the World Cups and that's about it. And then I watched that World Cup and like fell in love with his style of play. Fell in love with just, I don't know, he was so good. And like Hazard too on both on the Belgium team, and I think they outperformed what they were expected to do on that year, if I'm not mistaken. And so it was just so good. I was like, I need to keep watching him. Like something, a flip switched in my brain where I'm like, wow, like I love this. Like I need to keep watching. I need to do it. So then that year I started watching Premier League. I watched Champions League. I like went full in on that. And then for the women's, I like again would watch only the World Cups. Didn't really get into NWSL until after the 2019 World Cup. And then I think one of my other points was the first NWSL game I watched was that iconic one in September 2019.
Wait.
Utah. You know the one. Like Utah versus Portland.
Yes, the Utah Portland game, the Amy Rodriguez game.
The Amy Rodriguez, the one where Becky Sauerbrunn scores. And then
Yes.
Rodriguez, Sonnet getting a tussle, and then like Haran gets in there. Oh my god. I mean, what a game to like get my first NWSL experience, right?
For certain. For certain.
And yeah, I've been hooked ever since. Like this is so hooked that I want to make a career out of it.
I love
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
So who's your NWSL team?
See, I'm not really in a market, so I follow players, and I guess that's true for men too.
Gotcha.
Like I'm for not football, for whatever, American football, basketball, baseball. I'm like fully Wisconsin sports. Go Pack, go.
Go, go, go.
Like it's that. But other than that, I'm whichever players, whichever teams I go to, I'm gonna support them more than like the squad itself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So like kind of like so I'm in Denver, so like Deion Sanders is really, really big here because, you know, like Boulder's not that far from Denver.
Right.
So like there's a lot of people that are now following Colorado football specifically because Deion Sanders is there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd say like I've gone to a couple Red Stars games. Those are the closest ones to me. And so then I'm like fully, let's go Red Stars. But yeah, other than that, I mean, for Europe, I don't know what it was. I think it was just like, honestly, their kits and like their style and stuff, like Arsenal drew me in. So like I said, I am an Arsenal fan, but now we got to talk about Chelsea with Cat and Big Fish and everyone else they've got on there. Like,
right.
You know,
and and Ashley Lawrence didn't really like they brought her in too, and she didn't particularly have a very good match against us.
No, but I mean, it's crazy. They're
but I don't really want to get. Also, I don't really want to get too much in that match because I got real emotional about it. So
And I also
We
want
don't
to
have to get
give a quick
into it.
shout
It's
out.
okay.
I want to give a quick shout out to the YouTubes, Colton Vincent and
Oh.
I haven't really chatted with them much, but they've been real supportive. Honestly, we need to link up with them. Yeah. Arsenal. How did you become a fan of Arsenal? So who do you like on Arsenal? Who's the player?
I don't even know if it's just the players. I mean, on the women's side, I do like a lot of them on there. Need more melanin though. I like last year, like Rafa Souza was like the closest you would get. And then this year there is none whatsoever. And that hurts
Like-
me. None.
I believe somebody said they asking Cooney Cross was like, who your grandparents is? Can we claim y'all? Can we claim you? Are we sure?
That's weird. Yes. But I don't know. Like I said, I think it was like the history, and then like I loved their kits. Like the one season that I like was started to watch them, I was like, I'm gonna go by, who looks good. And then maybe off the field too. Like they all seem like such a fun group of people that I started following them on like Instagram and whatnot, and I was like, I'm very invested in these people now. So yeah.
So what as an Arsenal fan, what are your feelings about Jonas Eidevall?
I was surprised to see that his contract extension happened when it did, and it makes me think that it was a pre-planned thing and they just didn't know when to announce it, and it just happened to be at maybe not so good of a time. I don't know. He has so many weapons and so many coming back. Like Viv and Beth are not even fully ready yet, and they'll be there. And Leah Williamson, of course. And so he just needs to know how to manage all of them. He needs to know how to sub people properly. And like he's got all the tools literally in his arsenal. Like he needs to use them. But yeah, I'm a little disappointed. It was like a disappointing opening. And like I get like preseason there was like none, and then they've had so many games with the World Cup and whatnot, but everyone's had that.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm hoping it just goes up from here.
Okay. I mean I did read that Beth Mead is back in training, and I think she did a scrimmage game with the youth team, and she came out fine from that after playing the full 90. So
that poor youth
yeah,
team.
that's exciting.
That poor youth team. You just imagine her just bullying those kids. Oh, I love it. Oh man. And then the last topic I personally loved because I feel like I'm all alone on our show about our away kit. I guess.
Actually, no one else likes them.
I guess talking about.
okay, here's my feeling about the away kit. I don't love it on the players. I would love it as a piece of my wardrobe.
Yes, and that's why I love it. It legitimately looks like a fashion piece, and that's what I like about it. But yeah, yes, I guess as a football kit, sure. But I mean, but also that's why I like it.
You don't like which part of it doesn't go together?
So first of all, I'm never a fan of like collared kits. Like to me, everything about a collared kit. See, everything to me about like a collared kit says like service industry worker, and there's nothing wrong with being a service industry worker. I want to get that out of the way first and foremost. Like there is nothing wrong with that. However, I know that Manchester City has a lot of money. And there is no reason that anyone that works for Manchester City or like represents Manchester City on a soccer pitch should look like their employer is like part of like like these are little franchisees or something. No, I can't do it.
We aren't poor. Why do we have collars on our shirts?
Okay, I do want to bring up one thing though. Have you noticed to me, they look very similar to United's. I don't know
That's
if
what
it's
a lot of
away
people
or
say,
third,
and that's
right?
why a lot of people hate them. Yeah.
But also Bayern's kit is also maroon and white, beigeish
Yes.
cream colored.
Mm.
And United's is the worst of the three, in my opinion. Like it's a little like there's too much white and not enough. But that's why I like the color. It brings out a little more of that maroon and red.
Mm.
But yeah, like Bayern's and City's third or City's away kit are so similar.
Yeah, I guess
I love them. Yeah.
I need to look that up because I guess I didn't think about that. And it
I
does. It
do.
definitely does look like old United kits. I'm for sure agree with that.
Yeah.
I do like Bayern's kit, but I do also think that like didn't they say like that was like a throwback logo or something like to like the club's
Maybe.
founding,
Yeah.
which was like in the 30s, and that makes me feel a
Mm,
tad bit
yeah.
uncomfortable, just
I
a
can
tad.
yeah, I didn't see that. That would be a tad uncomfortable. Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's real. That's real.
that's I
I mean, however, I mean, yes, and we can't group every country in with whoever like their worst representative is, because I like I would like to think that we're not all thinking of the UK as Pierce Morgan.
And they don't want that
God.
either.
No,
I would
God.
like to, yeah, I mean that'd be awful. I would like to
Also,
think that
don't,
we're not.
maybe don't have such a hard pause after that, Tom Bomb. Maybe.
I don't know. Sorry, I got distracted by the football game
I
because
know.
Charlie's team made a play, and now I feel fucked up. Sorry, DP.
I know. That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
trying to
I was like,
multitask.
I know you're trying to make a
You're
point, but it's just like maybe don't pause at
Yeah,
a bad
Pause
time.
at that point.
yeah.
You. But you guys, I'm so excited. I'm actually traveling to the UK next week, and I'll
Oh,
be going to Chelsea's, both the men. I'll be London Derby, Chelsea Arsenal, and the women's Chelsea Brighton game.
whoa.
Yeah.
That's dope.
They're both playing at home. I'm so excited. First
Yeah.
games
Should
abroad.
be.
Well,
That
okay,
sounds awesome.
that's false. Not first games in the UK. I've been
Okay.
to yes, but
Well,
I'm so excited.
well, honestly, feel free to, if you want to tag us or anything. I mean, don't tag us on anything. If
Yeah.
whatever you share, I'm gonna repost anyway because we just love sharing that and like the real life experience and
Yeah.
more people who live in the U.S. need to get out there and
Yeah.
we want to uplift each other for doing it. We don't care what team anyone goes to. Like, yes, we're a city pod, but just we love the sport of football.
Of
And
course.
that's what it comes down to.
No, I love what you guys do. It's great.
Appreciate it.
Always
We appreciate you
retweeting,
too,
always
people.
talking about it, uplifting everyone.
Appreciate
It's
it.
incredible.
Same to you. And
Thank you.
I would love, as you continue your schooling and you learn, I would love to figure out how to bring you on and have you help us with what's going to become your expertise, because I feel like that
Okay.
obviously will fit in football. So yeah, just
Yeah.
however you figure it out or however you figure whatever, we'll be in touch. Like obviously we'll be in touch.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Of course. Of
definitely.
course.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, please plug yourself. Let people know how to find you, get a hold of
Okay.
you. all those
Yeah.
things.
Before I do, I just need to get one more thought off my head. I
Yes,
don't know. I
please.
was thinking about this today. And have you guys been following the Women's Nations League tournament?
Loosely.
Loosely. So it's basically an Olympic qualifier, right?
Mhm.
Where the two
Mhm.
teams who meet that reach the finals. It blows my mind that the only way that Great Britain can qualify is how England does and not Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. And Scotland and England are in the same group. So if Scotland does well and England does not, the Scottish players do not get to go to the Olympics either. And it's just like they're screwing themselves over by playing well. And that's what happened in the first game too. Like England, I think, barely won. Or they tied or something.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't understand the reasoning behind it. I don't know why like any of those 4 countries, depending on who does what, like maybe they should all of their results should count. But yeah,
Is that
that
because
was
of
just like
Brexit?
one loose thought. They're all part of
I,
That's just the first thing that came to mind. I was just like, that makes no
I,
sense. It's Brexit.
I think it's yeah, something about like because they all compete under the banner of Great Britain versus
Yeah.
like England, Scotland. Wait, it's so weird. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
because like England, Scotland, Wales, etc. They're FIFA countries, I guess, but then they're not IOC. They're not like Olympic tagged, and so they all go together, and then but only England's results in qualifying like decides if they even get to go.
I don't
It's
like
so
that.
silly.
That makes my
I
brain
don't like
hurt.
it.
Thanks for making my brain hurt, DG. It's too
I'm
late for that.
It's okay.
All right,
Anyway,
joke,
that was
joke,
just my
kid.
final thought.
Yeah,
But
no, I appreciate it.
I am mostly on Twitter. I just started an Instagram, but I like hardly do anything on it because I don't really know what to do. I need more followers first. So it's at ArrowAstroFC. And you can find me on there. Follow me. I'll hopefully be posting stuff. I am like in the works of also starting my own pod. And like that's gonna may hopefully get out soon. We'll see.
Let's go.
But yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
I'd love just more followers and then help me grow.
To the moon. We're out here. All right. Well,
Yes,
you have a
sir.
great rest
Absolutely.
of your evening. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Thanks for having me on.
Yes. See
Yes.
ya.
Okay. We'll keep in touch. Goodbye.
Yes. Hey, oh, this is so great. And just get
Okay.
to yes.
Before we bring on our next guest,
Yes.
Okay, before we bring on our next guest, and thank you so much, Deepti. It was a great conversation. I'm so glad that we got to do this with you. I probably should have brought this up while Deepti was on. Do you all want to hear the story that started in WOSO that is led to me finding out that one of the original members of the Queer Eye for the Straight Guy cast now has an OnlyFans?
Wait. What?
Oh God, am I frozen?
No. Are you frozen? His computer does this. Like, no, you're like, yes, you're frozen, but we can see you.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. He's okay. Thank you. Need to reboot your like, tell us the story. What's happening?
You're probably right. Okay, so one of the largest stories in WOSO this week is that number one, this is the final game of the regular season for NWSL, right? So Ali Krieger announced her retirement at the beginning of the season. This is going to be her last home match against Kansas City Current at Red Bull Arena. Yesterday, her wife, Ashlyn Harris, filed for divorce exactly 5 years to the day that they got married. There have been several accusations of like infidelity. I don't know nothing about that. That's not my business. But like, it just seems like, why would you ruin your ex-wife's day like that? That's kind of fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you know, Ali Krieger, her brother, is Kyle Krieger. Kyle Krieger was on the original Queer Eye for the Straight Guy with Carson. I think it was like, there were 5 guys. Kyle was the hair guy. Oh, and Deepti is right. Everyone needs to go look at Mana Shim's likes on Twitter because that shit is hilarious. Kyle Krieger, since he is no longer part of the Queer Eye franchise, I guess he needs to support himself, and he has supported himself by creating an OnlyFans. And it appears that he has a very robust portfolio of content. So that is how I found that all of that information out.
But
Also, yes, Mana did have time.
how does it go
Go ahead.
from divorce to OnlyFans? Like, how does social media do that? Like, what did he do that? Just go, hey, by the way, I got OnlyFans. Like, since this tweet is popping, like, what happened?
No, he didn't even. Actually, the only thing that I know for a fact that he has responded to is who did he responded to photographer Christina Brown, I believe her name is, her a comment like what did he say? It was like, oh, all she said was like, that's really foul to do that before your ex-wife's final home game. And like he responded like, oh, it's much deeper, it's even deeper than that, it's even more messed up than that, or something like that. So like that is the only thing that he has responded to that I have seen. But yes, Monashim's likes on Twitter, just go through them because they are hilarious. They're very funny. I can't even describe it any other way than just fucking hilarious. If you just need to go through, have a little Twitter rabbit hole, just look up Monashim's likes from yesterday, and that'll just feed your soul.
All right. Well, thank you, Tom Bomb. Our next guest is again from the Shea Butter FC, made family with him. Right, pays attention to, writes about, I believe it's Liga MX Femenil. Fantastic guy. Love his ad name. Just chef's kiss. Fantastic. Very hilarious. Honestly, he's just a very mindful person. He's a very thoughtful person. I've learned that about him through the times, just chatting with him. And just the things he knows about football, I feel like we're still peeling that onion. He's kind of like a very like passive. He's just like, oh yeah, this. He'll just like drop this thing or this fact, and you're just like, okay, guy, I get it. You know ball. Eugene Rutinsky. Hi, hello. How's it going?
It's going. How on earth am I supposed to follow Tom Bomb? Like how? What am I supposed to do now? I feel like I could.
Welcome to my life.
I feel like I could be juggling like flaming bowling pins or something, and it would be the second most interesting thing that happened on this tonight. Like, Jesus, man. Thank you guys for having me on. Though I missed hanging out with you guys. Like doing that with Shea Butter for the World Cup was, not gonna lie, it was kind of a grind because it was waking up at like 3 a.m.
Yes.
and trying to make myself awake and presentable and not like wake up my entire family, because I did that like the first time and they were ready to kill me. So, but it was so much fun. I got to meet you guys and Deep T and so many other like awesome people. And then it was like over, and I'm like so thankful I've been able to like keep in contact with you guys. I think you and I were talking earlier today on Twitter. One of the few times I've gone back there, so it's just been fun though. Like, and I'm glad to stay in contact with you guys. Man, how have you guys been?
Yeah, it's just good. Just riding along, continuously growing. We actually made Shades of Blue Media Company, so all the paperwork and stuff went through. So
Congratulations.
Steps growing on the website. We are planning other things in the future. So the 1-2 year plan is in effect.
Love it.
like, so those are like the overall things. We have a new guest, a new co-host of Shades of Blue that we will be announcing on Sunday. Just some fun things. We have a really cool person we're recording with on Saturday who's part of like the city content gang. He's kind of like an OG, a leader. But yeah, just
nice.
We're really trying to, in the city community, show that we're not for play. Like, don't play with us anymore. But also we're trying to show that we're more than just a city content firm, and we go much deeper than that. We talk about football, and that's really kind of all it is. Who we are like looking at and our peers and stuff like that. That's kind of where our mindset is. It's growing.
That's
And
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm excited to follow that journey with you guys. Like that's awesome.
Honestly, it's great to have people like you and Trev and Shane Letter FC. I could just keep going, but it's just like we are still very much babies to the
DP.
game. Yeah,
Yes.
like there's still so many new people, and then new people like DT, like us. Like we are a part of the new people that can hopefully help the group and the community in our own certain way. But I wasn't from. I was in the arts community, but like music and visual arts and stuff like that. That community is very like cutthroat.
Yeah,
Is it?
no,
Like it really is. People are just like we need to collaborate. We need to build together.
Yeah, the women's soccer community and most soccer communities, I'll say, at least that I've been a part of, are all just so super welcoming. Because I think a lot of it's still kind of new, and everybody has been the new kid like kind of recently. You know what I mean? You won't find too many people who've been doing this for like 20 years. You know what I mean? So I feel like that really helps it become and remain a very inclusive space. You know what I mean? And that's so cool. Like, you know, I've been in media situations where it's, you know, cutthroat and, you know, everybody's kind of looking out for themselves, and that sucks and it's not fun. That's why I'm not in those spaces anymore. It's why I said, well, I'm just going to go do what kind of makes me happy. So
I love it.
That's awesome.
But also, I'm 100% down. I don't mean to cut you off, Tom, with the playoff watch-alongs. I am not any. I have no team lenience alliance, so I will just be watching for vibes and goals and chaos, and very much like I was for Women's World Cup.
Let's do it, and it won't be at 3 a.m. again. That'll be freaking awesome, man.
That will be great. That will be great. All right. Well, okay. So
yes, that will be a.
Let's figure this out.
Yeah, because that like just the one that I participated in just really kicked my butt.
Well, see, that's what I don't. That's kind of what I don't understand about that y'all that like English soccer so much. Like it starts at 7 a.m. here on the East Coast, like 4 a.m. out on the West Coast. Man, I look at this face. I need my beauty sleep. I'm not getting up at 7 a.m. if I don't have to. Okay? I tried.
I know that's right, Eugene. You better talk to him.
For real, like I tried to get into the EPL. Like I had a bunch of friends who were into the EPL, and this was around 2010 or so. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pick a team. I'm gonna like follow a team, and it's not gonna be like I'm not gonna pick Manchester United because like no. And I'm not gonna pick one of the big teams. I'm gonna go with Birmingham City. You know, I'm a Black Sabbath fan. That's where they're from. They got relegated. I'm like, shit. Okay, well, let me go with Wolves. Like I had a friend who was a Wolves fan. Well, they got relegated. I'm like, I don't know, QPR. They got relegated. I'm like, you know what? I'm the angel of death. Like I'm not picking any more teams here. Like this is just not. It's not my bag. I don't like getting up that early. I'm out. Like I'm not. That's not my thing. You know what I mean? So. You know,
so it definitely seems like you've definitely found like your lane with Liga MX Feminile.
Yeah.
What kind of like brought you to that league?
Sure. So I started watching Mexican soccer after the '96 World Cup here in the U.S. Back then, there was no MLS. You couldn't just turn on a channel and find EPL games or anything. Kind of wandered, or the '94 World Cup, wandered the wilderness for 6 months, a year. I don't remember how long. And one day was flipping through the channels and found that they were showing the Mexican League on, I think it was Univision. I lived in Central Florida at the time. and was like, oh my God, there's soccer on TV. This rules, like, cool. So followed the men's league, started writing about that in like 2011 or so. Fast forward to 2017 or end of 2016, the Mexican Federation said, we're launching a new women's league that's going to help bolster our Mexican national team. It's going to be all the Mexican clubs. They're going to be required to have one. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. How often in somebody's life do you get to get in on a league being created from its very beginning, right? And get to watch it and get to watch it grow. And the good thing about these leagues, you know, kind of like I said before, is that they're televised in both countries. They're televised in Mexico, of course, but they're also televised here in the U.S. Watching it has sometimes been difficult, but it's gotten a lot easier. But I was like, well, this is, you know, I can get in this at its beginning. I can know the entire history of the league because I'm here for it. You know what I mean? So I just started doing that. I have kind of shifted away from doing a lot of stuff with the men's side to do the women's side because, quite frankly, it's just more fun and interesting to me at this point. So
That's awesome. Like, I mean, in some ways, like you can like kind of count yourself as like a league, like an English language league historian. It's like that's basically what your content is.
Yeah, I really love the history of the game and finding it out, right? Like I try not to come at it like Columbus. Like I'm not just, you know, I didn't find this, like it's always been there. It's just that it's new to me and I'm trying to relay this to, you know, people who may be interested in it that may not speak Spanish or, you know, may speak Spanish, but want to hear more about it, right? Because some of the stuff is kind of obscure and kind of, you know, nobody pays attention to because, you know, soccer has been a game and not this industry for most of its existence, you know? So
Yeah.
I like documenting that. I like kind of following things and pointing out the historical significance of these things because, you know, like at some point I'm not going to be here anymore, but this will kind of live on, and that's cool. Like that's cool to think about.
That's really dope.
Yeah, we're all going to die one day, and
yeah, I mean that's death and taxes.
But I just enjoy that.
I mean, but like
learning for myself these sorts of things and getting into the weeds on things and, you know, learning the stories about nicknames and players and all sorts of things like that. I don't know. It's just, that's my bag. You know, waking up at 6 a.m. to watch QPR get thrashed, that's not my bag.
I mean, it's technically not our bag either. But...
yeah, no, you guys actually get to watch a good team.
No, but I know what you're saying, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
if we're being honest, like QPR is really the reason that I am a Man City fan, just because like Sergio Aguero did score against QPR in like the 93-20, so like they
nice.
That's part of my like yeah.
Yeah, mine just stems from my hatred of United.
I'll tell you how I became I'm a fan of Pumas. I know I'm wearing a Santos Laguna jersey. It's just what I had available. But I'm actually a fan of Pumas, and I became a fan of them because it was one of the first, if not the first game that I saw of the Mexican League. And I don't know if you can see behind me, the gold jersey right back there, the big cat head on it. And it's like this. And I saw that on TV and I was like, that's awesome. I've never seen anything like that. Like usually you see soccer and it's a little badge. No, it's, you know, top to bottom. And I was like, that's dope. Like that is my team. I didn't know anything about it. I could barely speak Spanish at the time. That's my team. And I have been a fan of theirs ever since. So.
Wait, so you picked up Spanish for this?
Not exactly. You know, growing up in Florida, you know, you learn some Spanish. Like
Yeah.
we had Spanish classes starting in kindergarten. You know, so I knew some. I had a lot of Spanish speaking friends. You know, so it's not like I was like,
It was a catalyst.
I don't know.
Push.
Yeah, it's not like I didn't know anything and kind of went
Yes.
into it. You know, I had some basic knowledge of the language, and then was like, you know what, I'm actually gonna like commit to it. Like I'm going to work on this like I would anything else. So I've been doing that for a few years and have gotten better. You know, I don't get the, you know, when I go into like a local grocery store or something like that and start speaking Spanish, I don't get, will you stop? Just speaking, like we all speak English. Can you stop? You know, I don't get that so much anymore. So, which is nice.
Oh,
He said,
man.
when I go to the carniceria to get my Jarritos, you know what
Yeah,
I'm
like-
talking about.
Like I used to live near this really awesome panaderia, and then we moved, and I went back in there a couple days ago because I was in the neighborhood, and yeah, like just, you know, ordering in Spanish, and you know, at first the girls just kind of and just keep going. It's like, you know, I don't care, like whatever, man. Like everybody else here is speaking Spanish. Why shouldn't I?
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that stuff. And growing, I live in Eastern Iowa, so those are like telltale signs that I need to know when I go into like a taqueria or an Indian spot. Like I am listening for other languages and who's in these spots, because we have a lot of Americanized ethnic food restaurants where you will go in and they'll have like 3 peppers on it and you get it and you're just like, hey, I said 3 spice. Oh, this is it. Okay, thanks. Like I just did this last week. I went to supposedly this Thai place, and it was all like, legitimately took like 2 bites. Like at first, I was just like, okay, it doesn't look the best. Like there's no color. I could tell that it wasn't like cooked on a wok, even though it says like cooked on a wok. There was like no burned anything. It wasn't like, yeah. And so I took a bite, and there was no spice, no flavor, and I immediately sent it back. And I was like, this is dreadful. Please give me my money back. I'm leaving. Bye. And I haven't done that in a while. I have not done that in a while. But I was like, you are not charging me what you were about to try to charge me for this nonsense. And all I have around me are Ethels and Jerry's. And if they think this food is good, I need to get out of here. Goodness gracious.
Ethel and Jerry's. Now some of them could be White Jerome's now.
They could be, but
Just
the
putting that
food
out there.
didn't say that,
Some of
though.
them could be White Jerome's.
You're right.
I don't know.
You're
I
right.
remember way back in the day, I went to lunch with a bunch of coworkers, and we went to this place. It doesn't exist anymore. It's called the Hunter's Den, and I look around, and I was the youngest person in that room by about 40 years, and I'm like, why did they bring me here? But they had like some of the best prime rib I've ever eaten. No
I
lie,
bet.
man. I'm like, yo, these like octogenarians know what's up.
They
Like,
love some prime rib.
they knew the spot. So yeah, it's a shame that place closed down here, you know, a while ago. But yeah, so you know,
Prime rib's expensive.
sometimes, man, it wasn't really there. That was another thing. It's like, okay, I see them all eating this stuff. Should I go for it? And they're like, oh, this is our special. I'm like, all right, cool, like whatever. Like I'll give it a go. Like, you know, I've had food poisoning before. What's another trip? So, you know, got it. And I was like, this is actually awesome, and it was inexpensive, and yeah, like so sometimes you can you can tell, and sometimes you can't, and
Yeah, sometimes
I don't know, man.
Exactly. Hey, we are losing a lot of our special places. I mean, I guess maybe where you're at, maybe the food choices are a little bit better, but it's tough out here. That's half the reason why I just cook it at home now, and I just go to our world markets. That's what they're called, and I just buy all the stuff myself and try it out. And I'm just like, hey,
Gotcha.
if I'm making Thai food, it's gonna be better than if I go and buy it from some random place around here. For the most part, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really lucky. Like I live right outside of Wilmington, Delaware, right? So
Mhm.
you don't think of it as much, but man, there's really a lot of like diversity when it comes to food here. You know, tons of like Mexican restaurants and everything from like kind of like sit down, eat in Mexican restaurants to like taco trucks. You know, we've got a bunch of like Korean restaurants that are pretty good. There's some Dominican restaurants that are pretty good. There's like a sizable Dominican population in Wilmington, you know, so it's pretty fortunate. You know, I know some folks who live, you know, I'm not trying to down on the Midwest, but people live, you know, out in the middle of nowhere in the Midwest.
It
They're
is what
like,
it
yeah,
is.
like our choices are Pizza Hut and Pizza Hut.
Facts. Casey, and honestly, it's Casey's. It's actually Casey's.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, it's
it's a
like-
gas
Oh.
station. It's a gas station. It's a gas station that you can get pizza from. And
Yeah, I'm like, you guys don't even have like, you know, like what, like a Chinese restaurant? That's 45 minutes away. And I'm like,
they grocery
no.
shop at Dollar General. Like, yeah,
oof.
yeah, it's bad.
Also, one of the things about Casey's is that my cousin gave me this theory. I also grew up in the Midwest that within one square mile of every Casey's there is a trailer park.
Yes. Oh, facts. 1,000%. 1,000%. I
Like, and that is not a judgment. Again,
No,
that is not a
it-
judgment on trailer parks. But that, like, it appears to be that is their marketing strategy.
as someone who lives in the Midwest and Eastern Iowa, I can second and third that theory because I mean, I have. Let's see, I have tomorrow off. I might try to test that and go to all of it. I'm specifically thinking of all of those. And I'm like, that could
Just pull up on Google Maps.
that could be. Well,
Yeah, that sounds way less expensive. I don't know about you,
You
but
know,
as Cat
again-
Williams
Sounds
says,
way less
again,
expensive to me.
you're thinking of big cities. It takes me 15 minutes to drive across town. Like, and that's like with traffic, 15 minutes. Like, I might use half a gallon of gas driving to one side and back. Like, it's actually not that
Fair.
Yes, I live in a town of 100,000, and that's like combining multiple cities. It's like it's vibes here. It's very chill.
vibes, not vibes.
They wouldn't use the word vibes. they might
Certainly
actually,
not.
no, they might get a little scared if I use the word vibes around them. I'm looking up the NWSL schedule. It's already out, October 22nd. So we'll be in touch. I would
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds good.
set that up and okay. Well, Eugene, please let people know how they can get a hold of you and plug yourself and the things you're up to.
Yeah. My handle, like you pointed out, thank you. That's Golazo del Gringo. That is me on Twitter, Blue Sky, probably still Threads, although I haven't done anything there in a minute. But yeah, Twitter, Blue Sky, and my Substack. I write mostly about Mexican women's soccer, but I also have a column that I do weekly that just kind of aggregates things from all around the world in women's soccer, because that's something that's severely underreported, and I feel like hopefully helps people grasp that there's more to it than just their favorite league or two. So. But yeah, that's what I do, and yeah, thanks for having me on. Thanks for everybody who tuned in to listen to me ramble on about stuff, and yeah, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys again, doing some NWSL stuff.
Yeah, let's go.
Whenever, man.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll do something for the Liga MX Femenil final.
Oh,
Get a big old party together.
Hey, like I said, I'm down.
Absolutely.
We really are trying to expand who and what we do and talk about. I'm down. And this year has been my thing specifically, is to try to absorb as much just football period as possible. So this all just fits in my goals perfectly.
Yeah, well, let me know, and you know, if you have any questions, and anyone who's listening, watching, any questions about the Mexican League, hit me up. You know, I'll do the best I can to answer your question.
Hey,
And we
all
really
right.
appreciate you coming on with us, because I know that there's 2 matches going on right now, and like a few more to come like
Dude, I
shortly. So
forgot. I was recording my pod because I do a podcast with Adriana Terrazas called Our Football. I forgot to plug that. I'm so bad at this, man. Shit. But yeah, like we were starting to record last night, and we're like, oh my god, there's games going on like right now. We totally forgot there was midweek games. It's like, what? How did this happen? So yeah, I completely forgot that there was games going on this week. They're usually on the weekends and Mondays. So the Wednesday and Thursday games is just throwing me off. So whatever.
You'll get to it. All right. Well, you have a good rest of your night, Eugene.
Thanks.
Yes,
Thanks for having me,
absolutely.
guys.
Yep. See ya.
Have a good one.
All right. This was the lit stream, everybody. This was such a good time. I again want to thank Noisy Pod, Deep Deep,
Yes.
and Eugene for coming on, being part of the Shady Gang lit stream for me.
Yes.
I can't wait till we get to the end of the season and I clip like 2 seconds from every show, and it's just all the
yes.
different faces.
Oh yes.
Like, woo, boy! And hey, we're since we're that X Premium, I'm gonna be able to tag every single person because I can do a whole anthem. I'm gonna do it too. I'm gonna tag every single one of you guys, and half of y'all are probably gonna block me. It's not gonna be a good idea. So on second thought, I'm not gonna tag you. I'm still just gonna. I am Shades of Blue. This is Tom Bomb. We will see you. What is the match?
Sunday.
Sunday.
It-
The match is
Sunday. Sunday. The match is at 7. Wait, no. Before I get to Lion. Let me
I'm
look
doing the
at
same thing. I'm pulling it up. 6 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Mountain Time, 4 a.m. Pacific Time. That is when our kickoff show starts. It does start an hour before the match. So I get it. Y'all might be a little sleepy, just like lay in bed, like just pull it up, slide, and just watch us, with those little like sleepy eyes, like rub your eyes. It's gonna be cute. I love it, but it's like do all those things. I know for the people who are audio and they're listening to this moment, they're just like, "What is he doing?" You got to watch it. I don't know what you're saying.
You
Just
gotta watch it.
on YouTube. I'm a visual person. I'm a performer. What can I do? But come through for that because our baby blue baddies are gonna run it up on these little Bristol birdies.
Like this is Crunk's first 6 of the season for certain.
I'm
Like I'm calling it right now.
Let's go. I need it. Like truly.
I know. Yes, I do too.
Okay. You guys know the vibes. We're out of here. Shady Gang. Shady Gang. Shady Gang.